Hello, my name is Sophia Ramirez, and this is my critical reflection. Conventions. My cover follows a lot of conventions. Looking at other gardening and butterfly magazines, such as Fall Gardening and National Wildlife, has really helped me build and structure my magazine. I was mostly inspired by the magazine Fall Gardening, which I read and analyzed. The cover for the magazine has a bright colored photo which takes over the entirety of the cover and the text is placed over it. The masthead of my cover is placed in the upper part in big bold letters, which follows the typical conventions. My table of contents follows the industry standard and has all the different articles categorized by colors and themes. It also includes several images that are placed around the pages and a note from the editor, which is something I've seen in several gardening magazines. My double page spread follows conventions because it is set up in two pages. The first page containing several pictures as well as a large text box placed in the middle, which contains the article title. And the second page is where the text of the article and more pictures can be found. I wrapped the text around the photos, which is what many magazines do, and I also added the page numbers. Overall, my magazine places a lot of focus on the photos, which is very common in gardening magazines. Representation of social groups or issues. My magazine represents a well known social issue, which is the environment. I chose this topic because I care a lot about the environment, and gardening is well related to this issue. Gardening magazines often tackle environmental issues in their stories. This can also be seen in other magazines such as National Geographic, which focuses mainly on the environment. I wanted to make sure that the topic I chose was interesting as well as something that I'm passionate about and familiar with, which in this case is gardening and environmental conservation. I had the opportunity to be part of this project, which will hopefully help the environment and protect the habitat of these butterflies. Engaging with audiences and distribution. Magazines are distributed in many places, such as bookstores, online stores, as well as many other stores. I looked at physical magazines as well as online ones that were all gardening. I kept in mind that most of my audience would be women, usually middle aged women with a passion of gardening, because usually people interested in the contents found in my magazine lie in that group of people. Although this article in specific can also attract people that are interested in the environment and wildlife conservation. I made sure to make my magazine appealing to my target audience by adding bright colors in the cover as well as other cover lines that might spark interest within the specific group of people. Skill development. I began my project with little to no knowledge of editing. However, I've always had a passion for taking photos. Taking photos of the butterflies was a challenging task since they move so much. But with the help of my mother's camera, I was able to capture these images. After I had the photos I needed, I focused on learning how to edit photos with the help of my amazing teacher who helped me learn how to use Photopea, which is a great editing tool that I will most likely be using in the future. My editing and camera skills have definitely improved after this project, which I actually had a lot of fun working on. Integrated technologies. Integrated technologies, which include software, hardware, and other technologies. To me, this was one of the most challenging parts of this project. Our media studies class only had access to laptops throughout the year, which did not contain any installed editing software, so therefore we all had to use an editing software called Photopea, since it had similar tools to Photoshop and was easy to access, since it is a free website. After getting used to working with Photopea, I was able to create all of the parts for my magazine, including the cover, table of contents, and double page spread. We learned skills such as background removing and changing the contrast and brightness of photos. As time passed, I became more comfortable using the software. Although it took some time to learn how to fully use Photopea, I found myself learning many useful things which I will be using in the future. So I believe it was all worth it. Thank you.